Hi, my name's Chris and I'm a quantity surveyor. Firstly, I think it would be useful to explain the name quantity surveyor because it doesn't really describe the job. The job's basically sort of like a construction accountant, but not the boring side of accounts. It's looking after the money side of any construction project. Firstly, what I did, where I studied for 4 years at a university in South Africa, in Cape Town, to become a quantity surveyor. You don't need to study for 4 years. If you want to do in-service training, you can do that and work on the job, and slowly through probably about a 5 or 6 year period you could get up to the same level as where I am at the moment. My first job was in London, in Portobello Road, renovating the oldest purpose-built cinema in the world. It was a tricky job to start on, because being an old building, you never know what you're going to find when you pull off all the old finishes. But it was good. Since then, I've been working in the rail industry for a few years. And then in the civil engineering industry, building roads and bridges, tunnels, and laying power lines and that sort of stuff. A typical day is you come to work, and what a QS does in his daily role is basically keep track of what money's been spent on site, what problems have happened. So I'd arrive in the morning, go chat to the engineers, and they would let me know how many labourers they had on the day before, what machines and plant they used, if there had been any problems. If there were any problems, they would explain to me what happened with it, and maybe it's something that we can go back to the client and ask them for extra money, or maybe it's a mistake we've made and we'll have to try and prevent that mistake again. A good and a bad quantity surveyor. The role of a quantity surveyor is basically to keep track of the money spent on a project. A good quantity surveyor will be able to identify any problems happening early on in the project and rectify that so that it doesn't happen again, and save the client any money. There's two routes you can go in quantity surveyor. One's the professional route, where you represent the client. That would be an office-based job, and you would find yourself working a lot with numbers and not dealing as much on hand on site. The other route is contractor's QS, where you're on site, you're dealing with all the people on site, and that's a lot more hands-on role. As a job, I find it very rewarding. You get a lot of hands-on experience on how things are built, as well as keeping track of the money for the client. You don't need to be an expert in maths to do this job, but being a little handy with maths is helpful.